This is exactly why you're not closing as many loans as you want to be right now, because you're still clicking on flashy BS like what you just clicked on. Because in the back of your mind, you're still thinking that there might just be a shortcut or a hack. In mortgage, there is no shortcut. These gimmicky marketing programs on social media, the majority of them do not make you any money. And you know that. Now, I'm not a scammer. A virtual assistant is part of my mortgage business for sure, but there is a lot more to it than just plugging in a VA and automatically closing loans without having to work. Mortgage is a referral-based business. Our entire income is based upon getting people to like us and then getting those people that like us to refer us people that need to get mortgages. That's all we got to do. That marketing principle has stood true in mortgage for 50 years, and nothing is going to change it anytime soon. Now, what has drastically changed in the last couple of years are the tactics we use to get people to actually refer us loans. My headline is completely true. I've had a virtual assistant in my mortgage business for 4 years, and she is responsible for bringing in dozens of closed loans and giving me back hours a day of my life. But first, you have to have systems in place if you're going to delegate anything to a VA or delegate anything to anyone for that matter. I'm Steve, and in 2018, as a brand new LO, I moved across the country to a new market where I knew 0 people. And over the next 5 years, I managed to learn mortgage and close $100 million in loans. And I'm not trying to fool you into thinking I'm a $100 million a year producer. I'm not, but I close loans without working very much. I'm basically a part-time LO, yet I still manage to close quite a few loans because I have dialed systems in place that allow me to not work as much. If you follow me on social media, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm usually doing something other than working. Dialed marketing and dialed operational systems allow me to bring in loans and allow me to close loans without staring at a computer or making dozens of outbound calls for 8 hours a day. Now, there are a lot of people out there that will show you how to build a mortgage business. They'll show you how to build a mortgage business based on the exact tactics that they used to build their mortgage business 20 some years ago. Make a bunch of calls to realtors, talk about loan products, talk about closing on time. That stuff worked very well back then because the main problem realtors had was they just needed someone reliable to close their loans. It's 2024. There are hundreds of thousands of loan officers now. Finding a human that is able to close a mortgage on time, that is not a problem realtors have anymore. Marketing yourself as a problem solver for problems that aren't actually problems anymore, that's not going to work very well. There are 30 some other LOs in your market that can close on time, communicate, and offer pretty decent rates. Checking in with realtors on Mondays to see how their weekend went, sending out canned emails about loan programs that you would probably unsubscribe from yourself, posting scripted videos on Instagram about mortgage tips and tricks. If you do that stuff, you're telling everyone in your market that you are just like every other average loan officer out there. And I'm not saying that stuff never worked, because it did. Many successful loan officers built their business that way 20 some years ago. How many loan officers built an impressive mortgage business doing that stuff from 0 in the last couple of years? That stuff used to work very well. You could scale a mortgage business very quickly because it was solving actual problems. But those problems have already been solved. That stuff is just outdated marketing systems. And to be clear, mortgage is nothing more than systems. Marketing systems to bring in loans, operational systems to close loans. Most loan officers are using marketing systems that are just outdated. Most loan officers are using operational systems that are actually bad. In mortgage, our database of clients is our book of business. Our recurring revenue is 1, referrals from past clients, and 2, when rates drop, we refinance half our database and get paid a second time for doing very little work. Yet, most loan officers don't even have their database of loans saved anywhere. If your company shut off your logins right now, Where is your database of loans? It's probably saved in your company's system, not yours. If you don't have your database saved anywhere and someone else does, that ain't your database anymore. Having a sloppy database, that's losing money in the long run, which yes, that's very bad. But a lot of people just don't really care about the long run of anything. Their health, their fitness, their savings. People are worried about the now money. And in mortgage, the now money are the leads you're getting in now, today. The leads you are having applied this week. And how many of those leads are you not closing just because you didn't send them a follow-up text? In 2023, where every single loan mattered, how many loans did you not close just because you didn't call them back? 3, 8, 20 loans? How many loans closed with another lender that you could have absolutely closed, but they didn't immediately fill out a loan application and go into contract, so you never spoke with them again? To me, that is insanity. You clicked on this video because you thought you might have needed a virtual assistant. You don't need a virtual assistant yet. What you need is to start running your mortgage business like an actual business. You need systems, and a virtual assistant is a system that comes later on down the road when your front-end systems are dialed in. Most loan officers are trying to fill up a bucket that has 30 gaping holes in it. There is no point in trying to fill up a funnel with more leads if the leads you have now are pouring out of holes in your funnel. If you don't have a well-oiled machine with automated texts, automated email follow-up with reminders, tasks, due dates, and a place to put in detailed notes about every conversation that you ever have with a human that inquires about a mortgage, you're burning money away. You're burning money away. And yes, some of you use Excel and Outlook and your calendar and a yellow notepad, but you know darn well you're not manually calling those people back like you should be. You need automation to do it right. I know it's not sexy, I know it's boring to a lot of people, but if you're serious about rebuilding your mortgage business, you need to figure this out. Come out of this slow time with a system, an actual business asset that you can use for the rest of your career to close a higher percentage of the leads you get. This is my full-time job. I love doing this stuff. I work on loans for maybe an hour or two a day, maybe. Loans are just not very interesting to me. Now, building systems that close loans for me, that's what excites me. If you're tired of losing deals that you could have easily closed but didn't, just because you have sloppy systems, click the button below and book a call with me. I have personally used just about every mortgage CRM available on the market. I know the great systems, I know the trash systems. At the very least, I'll point you in the right direction. But don't just start buying random programs and CRMs like I did. It's really time consuming and really expensive. And in the end, you usually end up firing them after a few months because there's no support and it doesn't do exactly what you need it to do. You have nothing to lose. Click below and book a call.